Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome to True Story Sunday. Today I'm going to tell you a story about why I left Panama and what's going on with me now. When I went to Panama, I was coming off of a recent success, one of my YouTube videos, the Honest Harley Davidson commercial. And overall, I was making, after that happened, around $1,000 a month just off of YouTube's AdSense. And when I moved to Panama to marry my wife, I was living in Panama on a tourist visa. And so I couldn't really get a job. I didn't really speak the language. I was on a tourist visa, so I just thought YouTube that's gonna be what I do. And at the time, she was in a residency to become a pediatrician, and she was making about $1,200 a month. So between the two of us, for Panama, we were doing pretty okay. I was getting about 300,000 views each month to my channel, and 150,000 of those were coming from related videos. So somebody'd watch a video, and then YouTube would suggest one of my videos next, and they'd come and watch it. And so that was pretty cool. We didn't have to do anything, you know? And the views just kept coming in. And then one day, this is the only, maybe this isn't the reason it happened, but this is the only reason I can think of. This is the only event or the thing that changed that I know of. YouTube had this competition, and whoever won got $30,000 on a trip to New York, where they could go to the big B&H photo there and go on a shopping spree and go to some classes and learn how to improve their channel. Actually, a YouTube channel that I really enjoy was one of the winners of that competition. And, I mean, guy totally deserved it. The YouTube channel is P-Drop, although he goes by In Transit now. One of my favorite trips that he's taken was a canoeing trip with his brothers and some buddies from the headwaters of the Mississippi River all the way to the Gulf of Mexico. So you start out paddling in a creek, and near the end you're paddling alongside of shipping, giant tankers and stuff. It's really cool. It's really cool to watch that adventure. You should check out that channel, P-Drop, if you want to see some cool travel videos. Anyways, after that event, I lost all of that related traffic. So, whoops, totally lost. Driving around a city called Elk Ridge today, Elk Ridge, Utah. So, my guess was that they gave money to some channels, and they wanted to see a return on investment off of those channels, so they sent more views to those channels, but I could be totally wrong. I don't know. Not very good putting up dead end signs. And that says private up there, so I'm not going to go. And I thought, so when that happened, my income didn't just get cut in half, it got cut in more than half. But at the time I thought, whatever, that sucks, but I'll work really hard, I'll make tons of videos, and eventually these videos will get indexed by YouTube with related videos, and more traffic will come. I'll be able to build that back up. But that never happened. Matter of fact, no matter how many videos I made or how hard I tried, sometimes I put out a new video every week, a new vlog, every day of the week. And, guy looked familiar. And my average monthly views just kept going down, and my average monthly income just kept going down. And I was out there, throwing myself against the side of a mountain, trying to get some interesting content. No health insurance, no life insurance. There came a time where I just thought, this is taking so much effort, and I'm getting so little out of it. I think it's time to stop. And I didn't have many friends in Panama, and was too dumb to learn to speak the language. So we decided to move back to Panama. And that was, in my mind, I'd be able to work. My wife would be able to work as a pediatrician. And then everything would be okay. What we didn't know at the time was how incredibly difficult the process is of being a foreign international graduate, medical graduate, and trying to practice medicine in the United States. Had we known that, we probably would have stayed in Panama, and I just would have had to suck it up. Because my wife is still trying to go through this process. It's been years now, and she's in the same boat that I was. She hasn't made a lot of friends. She can't work. She doesn't feel like she's very fulfilled in life because she doesn't have a job, and that's been really hard. And I feel terrible about it, honestly. Anyways, we moved to Winnemucca, and Winnemucca is not a very nice town, but I had a friend out there, and he got me a job. And then he left, and one day there was 1 week where on a Sunday my wife had a miscarriage, and that was devastating. And then on Monday I went to work, and they fired me. And then on Saturday I went for a motorcycle ride and got in a pretty nasty crash, high-sided in some really gnarly mud, broke my collarbone. The bike was okay, busted off a mirror, busted the windshield. Other than that, she was okay. But now I'm stuck in Winnemucca. I can't really go apply for another job. I've lost my health insurance at the beginning of the week. It really sucked. It really sucked. That was a really... I think if I've ever been depressed, that was probably it. But couldn't even leave Winnemucca now, even though I was like, let's get out of here. This place sucks. We couldn't, because I couldn't really drive, and my wife didn't have a driver's license, and we couldn't load the car up with all of our stuff and leave. So I'd apply for jobs, and I'd go to an interview, and I'd take off my sling before I went into the interview and act like nothing hurt. And I'm in suburbia hell here. I know there's a way out of this town along the mountainside, but I am not having much luck finding it. So I lost my train of thought. So eventually I got healed up. We moved back to my hometown, and I started a business, and the business failed. Just after the business failed, my wife got pregnant, and I thought, oh man, I need a job. I need some health insurance, and I was going to do anything for some health insurance, right? So I got this job at an iron foundry, and they hired me as an electrician, and it was a hard job, very physically demanding job, very dirty. Matter of fact, I used to go home so dirty that the cops would pull me over because they thought a black guy was driving through Springville. And I just want to point out that's not a racist joke. That's a cop joke. So if you're a cop and you're offended by that, it's understandable. But if you're a black person, then I hope that you got a laugh out of it. So I got this job, and I'm tired all the time, and I'm working swing shift on Sunday I worked from 6 p.m. until 2:30 in the morning, and then the rest of the week I'd work from 2 p.m. till 10:30 p.m. or until whatever was broken was fixed. And I told myself as soon as, oh boy, there's a deer right there, I almost died. It was a little one. I almost died. The brakes on this GS are pretty awesome. Almost launched myself over the handlebars right there. I jammed on it so hard. Anywho, what the hell was I talking about? I told myself as soon as our baby was born, and the bills were paid, and I didn't need the insurance so much anymore that I was going to quit and find something else. But then bills never go away, and when you work swing shift, it's hard to get anything done. I was always so tired. I would sleep until it was pretty much time to go to work. So I never really had time to look for a new job. And then one day I heard that a member of the safety team was leaving. And so I went to the safety department and I just let them know that I thought I'd be good at it and I was interested. So they let me interview and I got hired. So then I had an office job and things were pretty good. One day the safety department got an intern, this young college graduate, and I think she saw me working on a video one day. I used to make these just really quick little videos. I didn't put much thought into them, but just about how to be safe doing a certain job. And so she started asking all sorts of questions about it, and she got into it. She bought a camera, and I told her about all my YouTube stuff. And she thought that was really cool. And it reminded me of once upon a time I was passionate about making videos. And it was nice to see her, like how much interest she had in it. And I had a lot of fun working on some projects with her. Actually, if you watch the Throttle Factor channel that Damon and I have, she was just our camera person on that last video where we rescued that pig. So it was fun to work on her with some projects. After a while, I'm going to go up that road. It looks a little twisty. I want to get in front of this Jeep. After a while, we had some management changes, and the new person coming in decided to lay off some people, as well as put a hiring freeze at the plant. And a big part of my job is to teach the new hires. They spend a week with me, their first week with me, and I teach them all the stuff they need to know about lockout, tagout, confined space, forklift, fall protection, all that stuff. But now there weren't any. And that job kept me very busy because we have a turnover rate. It's been as high as 48% because the job is just so difficult. I'm telling you. Super hot, molten iron, super dirty. A lot of people, they don't make it. So now I'm afraid that I'm going to get laid off because there's no new hires for me to train. And I think to myself, my gosh, I've got to show these people that I'm still an asset. And so I look at a couple different positions, and I find out that a lot of my new guys, after I send them out after a week of training, I ask them, hey, how much training did you get on this job? Like what you're supposed to be doing. And they'd always tell me, about 10 minutes. And then sometimes they'd get in trouble because they didn't know how to do their job. So I thought, okay, I'm going to make a training video, and it's going to be awesome. And somebody told me about this method of training called training within industry. It was developed by the War Department to teach all of the women that were coming to work to build Jeeps and tanks and planes who'd never worked in a factory or with a drill press before or any of that stuff. So the way it goes when you're doing training within industry is you teach the person the same thing 3 times. The first time you tell them how to do it, and then the second time you tell them how to do it, and then you tell them how to do it in important steps. These are all the important steps. And the next time you tell them the important steps and some key points to each step. And the next time you tell them the important steps and the key points and the reason behind each step. So they get more information. They get the same information, but more details with each repetition. And it seemed to work pretty good because everybody who saw that video thought, even if they were office people, they thought, boy, I could go out there and do that job right now. I know I could, even with nobody else showing me what to do. I worked really hard on it. I snuck into the plant on Sunday because I needed it to be quiet so I could be on camera and get some audio recorded. I stayed late after work. It turned out really good, and it sort of went viral within our corporation. Like the vice president and the president of the corporation saw it, and they talked to me about it. And I said, you know, guys, if you could set me loose on this, I think I could have a real impact across all the pipe shops. We have 3 pipe shops. And so one day my boss got off the phone and he called me in and he said, hey, don't lose your focus. Keep doing a good job at your current position, but congratulations, you really deserve it. And I said, deserve what? He said, I can't tell you. And I said, well, who was that on the phone? He said, I can't tell you. So it was months. It took months for it to really happen, but just last week, boom, I became a full-time videographer for the Wayne Corporation. And I went originally when I started making stuff on YouTube, I thought, I'm going to do this for a living. I'm going to make videos for a living. I'm going to inspire people to travel the world and ride their motorcycles and all that stuff. And then I became very disgruntled about making videos, and I was like, this is never going to work. It sucks. I'm not making any money. I'm done. I've had enough. But I still kind of always liked it. And now, I hate it when people say never give up on your dreams, because sometimes they're like certain dreams. You know, what if I had a dream to be an NBA player? I'm not tall enough, and you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. Some dreams, they just they aren't meant to be followed, or they aren't achievable. But I felt like I was good at making videos, and I just needed the right place to do it. So now I have all of the things that I want. I have a steady job. They gave me a big raise. They bought me almost $10,000 worth of camera gear. Pretty much whatever I asked for, they bought me. And I've got all the benefits I need. And honestly, with a family, I couldn't be traveling and going on motorcycle trips anyway. So this is, I'm really happy with where I am in life right now. And I've both been like completely over the moon excited about this opportunity, and also super nervous because I really haven't started the job yet, but I want to get in there and start producing some quality stuff so that I could show everybody that they made the right choice by choosing me for this position. This position did not exist, by the way. They were so impressed with the video that I made that they invented a new position because they recognized, here's this guy, he's got some skills, let's let him use those skills. And so I'm pretty happy about it, but I'm not too happy because I'm also kind of nervous about it. We'll see how it goes. I don't want this video to go too long, so I just wanted to say, give you an update on what's happened in my life recently. I've had some ups and some downs, but the universe has conspired to make me a full-time filmmaker again. So here we go. Remember to ride safe, travel far, do it soon, everyone.